Welcome to a slightly overcast day here at the Jupiter Beach. And we're gonna do a little 15-minute workout. Fitness Presence, gonna walk you through it. It's gonna work on every aspect of fitness, so let's just go ahead and get started. The first thing I wanna do is work on awareness and breath work. So I want you to find a nice gentle reach up above your head and fill your lungs with air. And then what we're gonna do is nice and gradually drop in, breathe slowly and exhale. And come on through. So this is the beginning of our workout. And we're going to be working originally on the sagittal plane, which means we're going to work on a plane coming right at us. So everything's coming up and down, and breathe and pull through with your lats. And again, we're gentle here at the beginning. Breathing up and filling our lungs, and then dropping in and allowing that air to exhale. Now maybe we pull from the front. Remember, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create resistance inside our body, so we don't need any other equipment to generate resistance. We're gonna warm up nice a little bit more, right? We're gonna come all the way up to the top and breathe. And that's the sagittal plane. Now we're gonna do a little warming up on the frontal plane, which is side to side. I'd like you to think about dropping your shoulder blades down your back and dropping into the side as you rotate around, and then come up across your body. Bring your arms across your chest and exhale as you drop back down again. And then inhale on your breath up and exhale on the breath down. And lift and out. So eventually we're going to add a lot more physical resistance to the movements that we're doing right now. What we're really trying to do is just be aware of our bodies and feel that movement and come around. We'll do another move. This is also on the frontal plane, right? Anything that's going side to side is frontal plane. So what we're doing here is pretending we're pulling a big wheel around and taking our torso as we press one leg into the other, lift the torso, and then bend and arch back down toward the ground, elbows nice and high, and pull it across, and breathe, and come again, all the way over the top and breathing. Good, now we're gonna go into the transverse plane, which is really just rotational around the center of our spine. So you're going to rotate right around this movement here, drop into a nice crescent lunge, right? So you're feeling a little bit of the hip flexor stretch, a little bit on the back, piriformis, and you're rotating your arms around your body. Maybe you look back over your back shoulder, and then pull those arms out and around and start to add a little bit more resistance as you move through. What I mean by that is add antagonist resistance. So if we think about the way the body's working right now, my lead arm is being pulled back by my back, and it's going to come around, but there's resistance from the front part of my torso, the front part of my shoulders, a little bit of my chest, which are the opposite muscles that are dominating on the other arm, right? So you're dominating with the chest and shoulders on the arm that's coming across the front of your body. You want to try and find your balance with resistance so that it's just slightly more one the other. And so you always have that body awareness as you're moving through space. The amount of resistance you add can vary greatly, but you always want to have one side just a little more dominant than the other. So you can do that with very little resistance, or you can load yourself up so that it makes it very difficult to move all the way across and actually be engaging a lot of muscle mass and building strength. Strength training is essential for everyone, really, right? We need to be building muscles. Muscles are the big metabolic engines of our body. It's where we use up our sugar, and it's great for our management of insulin, etc. It's great for maintaining a more active body so that we're burning more calories. How you get that resistance varies. Some people will tell you that you need to lift heavy I will tell you that you do not. I worked in the fitness industry for a while and I'm a 61-year-old and have been lifting weights from the time I was 13 till I was 45. And I haven't lifted a weight since then in those 16 years. And literally have not lost any muscle at all in that period of time, when people would tell you that you're most likely going to lose muscle just because you're aging. But what's true is that we do not lose muscle. Eventually we do, but we don't for a long time, as long as there's a demand for what those muscles do. The body's not going to let go of something that is needed. So we're going to go side to side again. This is frontal. I want you to think about maybe like being a soccer goalie. Imagine that you're making a diving save. I used to be a goalie. And then you're going to come across to the opposite side and make a diving save in the opposite direction. And press. Almost like you're doing a little bit of a cartwheel with your hands, coming across and stretching that and coming back across. I want you to feel the resistance, one leg resisting the other, one side of your body pulling against the other side, and shoulders working against one another. And then we'll come back into the sagittal plane, which is straight ahead of us. So I want you to raise up over your body. Now I want you to start to add a little more resistance again. Imagine that you're doing a chin-up at the same time that you're doing a squat. And so you're going to pull your arms all the way through, pull down with your lats, flex your biceps, and then we're going to push up out of that position as we do the squat. And now you're doing an overhead press. All the way to the top, flip your hands and pull back down again, and breathe. Just try to maintain consistent breath. The movements we do are so slow because the slower we go, the less chance of injury. And also, in some ways, we have greater body awareness and control when we slow it down. So you're able to build that resistance in there more effectively. Drop down. Now let's press out in front of us, or get into like a chair sit and then pull, but lever your arms so your lats are pulling your arms down as you press into the hands. And now you're going to lift up. And when you're lifting, you're feeling your shoulders lifting, but you're also feeling the muscles right underneath your arms, the serratus anterior, and your lats resisting that movement. And then you're going to pull back down again, and the lats and serratus are going to dominate the shoulders. And we're going to go back through. So that's the antagonist resistance that we're working on right there. All the way through, drop it deep. Good, and come back down. What I'm doing with my hands is isokinetic exercise. One hand is pressing into the other. So it's similar to isometrics, except it moves through a range of movement, where isometrics is kind of static. So isokinetics moves. So we're doing an isokinetic pull move. We're going to go back up over the top into that frontal plane, and one arm is going to pull against the other as you drop down. And think about moving nice and smoothly, and now come up and across, and breathe. Keep pulling through that movement, and drive down. Make sure when you're doing these lunges that your legs are wide enough that you can get a really nice stretch without having to get your knees too far out over your toes. Reach through, drive that elbow nice and high. Now pull the opposite elbow down toward your side and feel that battle going on between your arms. And come on all the way across, and breathe. Good, all the way through. Drive it, and come back through. Now the next movement we're going to do is a press, and we're going to get into a rotation. So here we're working a lot of chest in the front part of our shoulders, and one side is battling the other. So your left hand is battling your right hand as you come across, and keep rotating through, and then push and flip the other direction. Now keep your elbows nice and high and drive it all the way across, and breathe all the way through. Keep a nice good stretch. Rotate down. Stand tall out of that crescent lunge. And feel the hip flexors being stretched and the piriformis. So hip flexors on this side, piriformis on this side. And then press across and breathe all the way through. Nice long rotation. Get out and feel that resistance all the way through. And come back the other way. And breathing. Press it all the way across. Good, we're gonna go sagittal again. So really there's 3 planes of movement that we're working on. Sagittal, which means just coming at you. Frontal means coming side to side. And transverse is rotational. So what I want you to do here is get a decent sized stretch in your legs and reach up into the biggest X you can find. And now imagine that you have cables in your hands and you're gonna pull those cables down to your side. And as you come all the way down, I want you to turn and do a butterfly stroke up and around, dipping your body down, stretching your hamstrings gently, and then stretching back out and reaching back up to the big X. So we're gonna pull down, feel the cables in your hands. Now pull them, flex your biceps as you're dropping deep. Pull that way deep so you get a good contraction on your lats, and then do a butterfly stroke up over the top and reach with your body and curl your body as you come around and lean down and stretch those hamstrings again. Then let's come back up and reach out to the corners. Stretch as far as you can. Now press out. Think about pushing your hands out before you turn and pull them back in again. Rotate your biceps, flex, and rotate your wrists and flex your biceps, pull all the way down. Let's see a beautiful butterfly stroke up over the top. All the way up over the top. Press your hips back, reach out, and lean in and get a good hamstring stretch there. Feel that stretch in your glutes. Let's go side to side. I want you to come over. Now we're getting deeper because we're more flexible as we've warmed up. And press from one side to the other, kind of staying low and landing all the way over. And then again, pressing sideways all the way over. Feel the resistance from one leg battling the other as you go from side to side, and lift. When you're at the middle, I want your arms up high, and then you're gonna rotate it all the way around and drop back deep. Now let's lean away and switch and lean away. Now I want you thinking when you're moving through this range, your core is fighting and one side's pulling those arms down and the other side's lifting up. So again, you have the serratus, the muscles right underneath your arms, pulling you down, pulling your arm down, and a fighting against your shoulders, which are lifting up. And obviously, whichever one is dominant is the one that is slightly getting ahead in that battle. Let's make that move fuller and allow it to rotate around and come around again, all the way through, and breathe. So in this little 15-minute workout we're gonna do, which by the way, I forgot to check the time, we're gonna work on every aspect of our fitness. We'll see where we are right now. Ooh, we're almost there, 13 and a half. Let's give it a little balance work. So we wanna work on every aspect of fitness when we're working out. So balance is one of those. So let's just pick your leg up. Depending on how good your balance is, you can pick it up nice and high. You can hold on to something if you'd like, but you may drop down into a four-sit. Now think about pulling your arms back in your chest high before butterfly stroking forward and leaning down. Get a really nice stretch there and come back up again. For an advanced play, lift your leg up high. Ooh, advanced, I'm losing it. Lift that leg up high and then just extend your quadricep. And again, if this is difficult for the balance, it is for me as well. An exercise is about doing things that are difficult. They just have to be at the edge of your capabilities. They don't have to be devastatingly hard. They just have to be a little bit ahead of what your current capabilities are. And that will allow you, hey, doggy dog. I'm on a dog beach in case you can't pick up on that. Drop down. Let's butterfly stroke forward and reach out and drop it down. And then extend and reach and bring it back down again. Like to get into a little bit of a yogi stretch. So the legs are turned out a little bit. Just gonna press down, stretch it out. We're gonna do this nice and gently because we're finishing up our little 15-minute workout. If you were to do just this every day, something very similar to this every day, what you'd find is that your fitness, every single aspect of your fitness would continue to get better, because exercise works because we place demands just at the edge of our capabilities. And so move forward, do a little bit of bird fly here. Come all the way up, bring it down in front of you. And that's 1% of your day. 14 minutes and 24 seconds is 1% of your day. You can do this. Anyway, hope to see you soon. Join us on our YouTube channel and subscribe.